Welcome to A2O Expedition. Last time we entered South Africa and drove all the way to Jamaica, an amazing campsite lodged within the Cedarburg Mountains. After a couple of nights, we decided that it was finally time to return to Cape Town and reunite with friends and family we hadn't seen since we left back in 2012.
Right, so in October 2012, we were staying with Louisa's stepmother in Mafuta, which is near Cape Town. And yeah, that pretty much, we left from there, put the landy on the boat, and off we went. And it's been, since then, which is very close to 7 years, since we last saw Table Mountain. Beautiful Table Mountain. We used to climb her every second weekend. And now you can't see it, but I can see it. I can see one of the slopes is completely shrouded in cloud. One of the world's most famous landmarks and one of the world's most beautiful cities is right there. And we missed her a lot. So, and this place here, Silverstrand, I believe, is where I used to come surfing with my brother-in-law in a place called Gas Chambers. So all the memories are flooding back for us now. But yeah, I think we should definitely take a drive and just go into Cape Town and show you guys what it's like. I think the weather's going to be better. So what do you think, Louisa? We take a bus here?
I think so.
Go check out Cape Town.
Absolutely.
Cool. Cape Town.
Once we arrived in Melkbos, we met up with Louisa's stepmom, Mirinda, also known as Minna, and took a scenic drive with her along the coast of Cape Town. Not long after, we met up with some old friends and had a braai. After that, we set off to the coastal town of Mossel Bay. We needed to do a lot of work on the landy and managed to find someone willing to rent a house out to us at an affordable rate.
So we've had electrical gremlins since probably Congo, or even before then, and in Congo it really got bad, and we thought it was just the CPS, which we repaired in the bush, which you'll see a video of. But it just continued to get worse and worse. But when the lights started switching off sporadically, and the fuses kept blowing, we realized there was a bigger issue. When we got into South Africa, into Springbok, we went to an auto electrician, and they spent 3 hours on the vehicle and couldn't find the fault. So when we got to this house that we're staying at the moment in Cape Town, we thought, hell, let's take everything apart. So as you can see, we've literally not ripped it obviously, but taken all the electronics out, and the electrics, and seeing where the problems lie. Now we did find a fault, obviously. The one wiring loom on the ECU had burned through, and there were 9 wires that were severed. So I spliced them, but connected them, heat shrink them, and they're perfectly fine. It seems like it could just have an issue with the headlamp, but I think it's one of the fuse wires that have actually come out of the fuse box. So that needs to be repaired, and I think that we're ready to at least put this back together again. But yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge, but I'm glad that we've done it, because that could have been a massive issue, and thank God it wasn't a mechanical fire. So all's looking good. So as you can see, we've also stripped the interior of the camper. Today this is coming out, getting cleaned up. You'll see some pics. The inside was pretty bad. Under the kitchen unit, we didn't realize how much there was. I removed these windows like I did with those, and cleaning them up and putting them back together again. We've been redoing the electrics inside to make sure that everything works, putting new LED lighting in. The kitchen unit has been repainted. Graham really worked hard on that, and it really looks great. We're going to be putting new cabinets in the back, as well as a power box. We're removing one of the water tanks. We have 2 water tanks under the seats, which we don't really need, especially since we have the Lifesaver jerry can. So we're going to just have the 1 water can, and we are then replacing the canvas, which was ripped subsequently in Namibia, but prior to that, obviously the whole system was a little iffy, but it needs to be replaced. So we're getting that done as well. And then Jessica's bed needs to be reinforced, because she's gained a little weight and the wooden boards aren't quite as stable as they used to be. So I'm putting a solid piece of wood across there. It is quite thick, it's 20 millimeters, but I think it'll last for years. A little heavier, but it'll be fine. There's a reason why the solar hasn't been working. Somehow, I'm not sure if it happened recently. Must have, because I checked the wires the other day and they were fine. But this has come completely and entirely undone, and oh wow, the wiring is pretty shit. So I'm going to rewire that up and see if it works now. Redo the joint on the bus bar, and hopefully it sorts out that issue. As you can see, the canvas is pretty buggered. We're going to be changing the system somewhat as well, and I'm going to get this done professionally. Hi guys, so we're back in South Africa, and we decided that Land Rover needs a makeover. After West Africa, she went through quite a bit, and yeah, the canvas was one of the things that really didn't work out. We did the rebuild from the double cab 130 to the camper rebuild like this in 2016 in the US, and you can check out the video over there. And yeah, since then we've been around Europe as well as West Africa, and here we are. Now in the US you get great canvas, but in South Africa we're heavy on the safari thing. So we decided to get some ripstop fabric, which is specific to rooftop tents and it lasts forever.
Okay, this was the canvas that we got in America for the first time when we initially rebuilt the Land Rover, and it's held up pretty well. But as you can see, the color has faded from this olive green to pink. What we're doing now is we're grinding the sharp edges off of the corner pieces to round it, because if it's the sharp edge like this, what happens is the canvas sits against it and it frays and it rubs and it slowly pierces through the canvas, and then we have a leak and a bunch of other problems. So we're just rounding it to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, I'm measuring out the pieces where we need to drill the holes so that we can pop rivet it through the canvas and seal the whole thing. If you look on this side, I'll actually move it for you. Here is where we're going to cut, because the back length is less than that considering these corners. So I've contributed 20 centimeters for these 10 centimeter corners, and we'll cut that out so that we have less work to do while we're actually inside the vehicle. But now it's just the job of marking it all out.
And then drilling it, eh?
And then, yeah.
Okay.
But right now it's...
So we're going to mark it and then drill it here.
And then move into the vehicle and then drill the holes into the top piece. Yeah.
The method we used for securing the canvas to the roof was sandwiching the fabric between two pieces of metal and then pop riveting through it to secure the whole thing. After replacing the canvas, we set off in a hurry to try to reach the Defender Trophy near the border with Zimbabwe, but we never would reach our destination. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think of the way we secured the canvas. While you're down there, you might as well like and subscribe. It's free.